Peter. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us this morning. So throughout the election campaign, coronavirus was front and centre for Joe Biden. Now he's following through with that. He signed a whole raft of new executive orders today pointing to the rollout of coronavirus. And he points to the fact that it was not a matter of urgency for the previous administration. So a slight dig there.
Absolutely. He's absolutely correct, because President Trump seemed to have taken it easy and ignored that issue throughout the year, but especially toward the end. He was obsessed with getting reelected. And it's a good thing that President Biden has completely changed the whole focus. And he says he signed those executive orders, which includes accelerating those vaccinations and having more testing and so many different things regarding coronavirus, and also a national coordinated response. That's the key that was missing under President Trump, having the national government lead it, as you've done in Australia quite well with your coronavirus problems.
He does want 100 million doses of the vaccine to be administered over the first 100 days of his time in office. That includes people who are going to receive 2 shots. So that's 50 million people. Can that be achieved in that time?
Well, it has to be achieved, at least that. And I would say if we could each achieve more, it'd be much better, because this virus, as you know, is mutating and the variants can catch on before enough vaccines are out there. So this has got to be a priority. And I'm glad he's putting the federal government's resources and the focus of politics and political power of the government to doing these vaccinations, opening up clinics that will be funded federally, locally, for different states and localities. Those kinds of things are very important in order to get it done. And I believe it can be done, the 100 million, but it needs to be more than that if we can.
He has, as we've already said, signed a whole bunch of executive orders already. He's overturned a number of Trump policies. It's the Muslim travel ban. That's been overturned. He's also reversed America's involvement with the World Health Organization. It's back in. They're back with Paris now as well, the Paris Agreement. What do you make of the order of how those executive orders have been signed at the moment? Is he choosing the right ones?
I think he really is. And if you look at one other important one, is the Iran nuclear deal. He's going to bring us back into that deal with Iran as long as Iran meets certain circumstances. And those are good things. And I believe that he focused on the correct ones. The Paris Climate Accord is extremely important. The U.S. has been absent on that one during President Trump administration. And there are so many things to do with international relations to bring our allies back and have faith in us as a leader of the free world. This has not happened in the last 4 years. Allies have lost faith. And President Trump's America First policy meant America alone, basically, and it was very detrimental to our own situation.
Well, how's he going to assuage the concerns of people in, for example, in those rural parts of Pennsylvania, those mining counties where energy and oil is big, and some other states as well? How's he going to assuage the concerns of those people who may well fear that they're going to lose their jobs?
Absolutely crucial question. He has to address that by showing them that and coming in with federal funding to help them make the transition from those jobs to new types of jobs, including energy jobs or clean energy, building solar panels, for example, windmills, helping out with electric car development and production. And he could use the Defense Production Act for those emergency measures in terms of the mask wearing and create jobs that way. But he has to address the people who are going to lose those jobs, the old sector jobs, and say, we've got technology to bring in new sector jobs for you, and we're putting federal money in to help you with the transition.
That's not going to be easy, though, is it, Peter?
No, it's not going to be easy, because there'll be resistance in parts of Congress, especially among the Republicans, and that kind of transition has to be done still, even though it's not easy.
He's going to have a honeymoon period here. Typically, it may last a couple of months. What would you like to see him achieve in his first 100 days that perhaps is a little bit off the radar at the moment?
Well, I think that most of it's on the radar, and it's got to be the COVID crisis, number one. And number two is the economy. And I always believe in the phrase that if we don't have a healthy economy, you don't have a healthy population, you will not have a healthy economy. So he's got to focus on those two things. And also the healing, the racial and ethnic healing. And, President Biden is very unique. He's driven by a faith. He's a Catholic Christian who believes in faith without works is dead, from the book of James. And he even quoted it. And he actually comes from is the soul of America that he's talking about. He wants to bring in his spiritual basis of social justice and policy. That could drive him, and it could inspire a lot of Americans of both parties and other walks of life to come together.
Okay. Peter Mathews, the political scientist and professor at Cypress College. Thanks for your time this morning. We'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure, Peter. Thank you.